So for years, I've heard pastors preach about this one verse, Proverbs 13:22. It says, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. And another version would say, like a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, New King James Version. The funny thing is, for all these years, I've heard pastors preach this, and I used to question myself, and I used to question God. I said, God, I guess I'm not a good man because I don't have houses, I don't have lands, I don't have all this money that, they're talking about, and they're like, yeah, make sure you leave the life insurance, and make sure you do this, and make sure you do that. And I'm like, God, am I a good person? Because I don't feel good based on this scripture. And then God let me realize this. Let me tell you this other version that God let me realize. Another version, the contemporary English version, it says, if you obey God, you will have something to leave your grandchildren. If you don't obey God, those who live right will get what you leave. And that's when God let me realize, that he's not talking about in this verse like the pastors are preaching. He's not talking about houses. He's not talking about lands. He's talking about the inheritance of him. We have an inheritance of God. If we have the inheritance of God and we obey God, then guess what happened? Our grandchildren will be able to leave something for our grandchildren. And what will we be leaving our grandchildren? We'll be leaving them the inheritance of God. So people and pastors, you guys are preaching that it's all this land and money and stuff. It's not. God is talking about him as the inheritance. And once we have God as our inheritance, all our needs are met. Everything is fine for us because we have God. With God, we have nothing. Without God, we have nothing. But with God, we have everything. So as long as we know that God is not talking about houses and land and money and all that stuff, but he's talking about him being an inheritance, we'll be all right. So guess what? I'm one of them good persons, and you are one of those good persons also.